In this video, we will be looking at some of the interesting myths about the new update Dino-Ground. Starting with the first myth, T-Rex's roar sound will break the window glasses. So here's the window glass that we are going to try and break with T-Rex's roars. Will this glass really break? Let's find out. Unfortunately, it looks like the window glass panel remains intact. Even the player inside the window is getting damaged by the T-Rex roars, but the glass doesn't break or shatter. So the myth is busted. T-Rex roar cannot break glass panels of windows, but it would be really cool and realistic if the windows shattered from the sound. Now to the next myth. T-Rex roar can damage other T-Rex. I have my T-Rex here, and there's an enemy T-Rex as well. We both going to press the roar option at the same time. Neither my T-Rex nor the enemy's T-Rex took any damage from the roars. Surprisingly, I and the opponent didn't get damaged by the roars. So the myth is busted. Anyway, moving on to the next myth. You can shoot through a T-Rex and hit a player with Lynx AMR. If you don't know, Lynx AMR can shoot through vehicles and hit the player, even the BRDM. Since T-Rex is also a vehicle, can AMR penetrate through T-Rex? Let's test this myth. This is the opponent that I'm going to shoot through the T-Rex's head. Here's the enemy perspective, and AMR does go through T-Rex and hits the player. Not only the head, but it can also penetrate through the legs, even the entire body. So the myth is confirmed, AMR will hit the player through T-Rex, but for some reason it still can't shoot through this damn wooden door. Moving on to the next myth. You don't get damaged or less damage is given when riding flying dinosaur. To test this, I'm going to shoot at an enemy player riding a pterosaur and observe if they receive any damage. The enemy player does indeed take the full amount of damage. However, upon closer examination, I discovered that most of the shots were hitting the pterosaur's wings, as you can see in this example, thereby shielding the player from most of the shots. Pterosaur takes all the damage, so the myth is busted. This could be the reason why the opponent isn't getting any damage when flying in pterosaur. Moving on to the next myth. Get on top of T-Rex cage. Wait till T-Rex breaks the cage, and you will float in air. So to test this myth, first, we need to get on top of the T-Rex's cage. I will climb over this dinosaur's skeleton like this to reach on top of its cage. Now the T-Rex will break open the cage. Somehow I do appear to be floating on air, or on an invisible wall, but it's only for a while. Eventually I fell down. I think this must be a glitch or delay, but the myth is kinda busted, since I fell down just few seconds later. However, I found a method to remain on top of the cage even after its destruction. Simply climb yourself on the bone structure. Or you could just jump over here. This spot serves as an excellent camping location, offering solid cover like this. If you don't like this, you can still climb up the cage by going up an example like this, and now you have a view of the entire area, so you can shoot down your opponents from this location. Let's go close to this door and see if we can open. So I do get the option to open and close the door. This is really helpful. So this is more like a feature than a myth. However, the myth is confirmed. Now to the next myth. You can't land the flying dinosaur in water. And another similar myth. If you exit from flying pterosaur on top of water, it will disappear. To put these claims to the test, I took the pterosaur for a fly over the water. However, no matter how hard I tried to press this descend option, the pterosaur couldn't go any lower or closer to the water's surface, so pterosaur cannot go anywhere close to water, indicating that it cannot land on water. Now, let's see what happens if I exit the pterosaur from here on water. Surprisingly, upon exiting, the pterosaur remains stationary in mid-air at the exact location where I left it. After some time, though, the pterosaur started to fly into the sky on its own. Out of nowhere it just disappeared without a trace. So the myth is confirmed, you cannot land pterosaur on water. Moving on to next myth. If you grab enemy and fly not too high, the enemy cannot release themselves. Okay, so I think what this person was trying to say, if I grab an enemy with a flying pterosaur and fly too low, the enemy cannot release themselves. But in the enemy's screen, there is an option to break free, and it does work. So the myth is busted. Your enemy will have the option to break free while flying too low with pterosaur. However, their parachutes will not work since it's too low, so they end up getting fall damage, so you could damage your enemy in this way. Moving on to the next myth. You cannot tame more than 2 dinosaurs. Let's see if this myth is true. Here's a speed run of me taming the dinosaurs. So I successfully tamed more than 2 dinosaurs. so the myth is busted. You can tame as many dinosaurs as possible. Moving on to the next myth. You will not take any fall damage if you suddenly exit vehicle while driving Raptor and T-Rex with high speed. To check this myth, I'm running at the highest speed possible with T-Rex. Now I will exit to see will I get any damage. I received no fall damage by exiting the T-Rex at high speeds. Now with the Velociraptor, going pretty high speed, and exit. I got no damage by jumping out of these dinosaurs at high speeds, so the myth is confirmed. You will not take any fall damage if you exit from Now to the last myth. You can fuel the dinosaurs when their bar is empty. I will first attempt to refuel the Velociraptor at a fuel station using shop tokens. Unfortunately, there is no option available to refuel the dinosaur. Now let's try this with a gas can. So the thing is, I have the option to use the gas can while sitting in the Velociraptor, but I get this item is not usable warning when doing this. You do not get the use option in the backpack when I'm on the ground. Something is wrong, but the myth is busted. You cannot refuel the dinosaur's energy. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. If you have any myths about this new update that you would like to share, let me know in the comments.